No, to be honest, this is the truth. He was so new that I didn't really know a lot about him yet.
Yeah, that's right. The Today Show did have him before he was like,
yeah, it was really kind of before any.
Imagine being so obsessed with someone that they become your entire world. You don't just admire them, you study them. Where they go, what they wear, who they talk to. You memorize their every move like a script, hoping one day you'll get to play a part in their story. But what if I told you that's exactly what people believe about Hailey Bieber and her obsession with Justin Bieber?
I just watched that 7-part series about Hailey Bieber. Bitch is fucking nuts. Y'all kind of knew that, but watching that series, the evidence is there. It's like, I don't believe in like putting women against each other and sending death threats to another person and like all that hate. Like, I don't agree with that. And I also think that like Selena's moved on. It's not about Selena and Justin. It's about fucking Hailey Bieber, and she's nuts. I think if that evidence was stacked against a man, it's game over. She's a stalker. She's a fucking weird stalker bitch. I'm sorry. Watch those videos, because it's like, what the fuck? Bitch, you're in every photo. You are stalking these people. The digital footprint is just so strong. Like, you can't, like, one thing is a coincidence, two things is like, okay, maybe a coincidence, but it's like years and years and years of digital footprint evidence. It's not a coincidence anymore.
The handshake that started it all. Before Hailey Bieber became a household name, she was a 13-year-old girl with an intense admiration for Justin Bieber. But unlike most teenage fans, Hailey had something that set her apart: connections. Her father, actor Stephen Baldwin, was well known in Hollywood and had access to people most fans could only dream of meeting. One of those people just happened to be Justin Bieber. In 2009, when Justin was 15 and on the brink of superstardom, Stephen took his daughter to a backstage event and personally introduced her to him. Cameras captured the moment. A young Hailey standing in front of Justin, shaking his hand with a neutral expression, seemingly unbothered by meeting the boy she had idolized online. To an outsider, it looked like a simple, innocent introduction. But in hindsight, many believe this meeting was the first step in something much bigger. Long before she ever met Justin, Hailey had already been an active supporter of his music. She tweeted about him, followed his career closely, and engaged with fan culture surrounding him. While millions of girls around the world were obsessing over Justin, Hailey had something none of them did: proximity. That one handshake may have seemed insignificant at the time, but it placed Hailey within Justin's orbit, giving her a connection that other fans could only dream of. Over the years, Hailey continued to find ways to stay close to Justin's world. She started attending the same industry events, forming friendships with people in his inner circle, and making sure she was always within reach. She was no longer just a fan watching from afar. She was now a familiar face in the world that surrounded Justin. Whether it was through mutual friends, industry connections, or simply being in the right place at the right time, Hailey remained close enough to never be forgotten. Meanwhile, Justin's career was skyrocketing. He became one of the biggest pop stars in the world, dominating the charts, selling out stadiums, and becoming a global sensation. At the same time, his personal life was under intense public scrutiny, especially his highly publicized relationship with Selena Gomez. Hailey was always somewhere in the background. She wasn't just a fan anymore. She was actively placing herself within his world, making connections with the people around him, and ensuring that she was never too far away. As the years went on, Hailey's connection to Justin only grew stronger. Whether it was through chance encounters, mutual friends, or carefully orchestrated moments, she always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. Some believe it was all just luck, a devoted fan who happened to find herself in the inner circle of her favorite pop star. That moment in 2009, when a 13-year-old Hailey shook hands with a 15-year-old Justin, may have seemed insignificant at the time, but for Hailey, it may have been the beginning of a long journey towards something she had always wanted. Whether it was fate, coincidence, or careful planning, one thing is clear: Hailey was no ordinary fan, and her story was far from over. The hotel incident. Meeting a celebrity once is a dream. Meeting them again and again, especially behind velvet ropes and backstage passes, starts to feel like something more. After that first handshake, Hailey Baldwin didn't disappear back into the crowd. Instead, her presence in Justin Bieber's world grew more frequent and more strategic. While most fans screamed from the stands, Hailey started popping up in the VIP sections of his concerts. Not in every city, but in the right cities. The ones that mattered, the ones where she'd be seen. To the untrained eye, she was just another fan with good connections. But to longtime believers and internet sleuths, her pattern was impossible to ignore. She wasn't just attending shows, she was placing herself in spaces where Justin couldn't miss her. Quietly, effortlessly, and always just there. She wasn't loud. She didn't hold up signs or scream his name. Instead, she stood calmly near the stage, or in exclusive areas meant for close friends and family. Sometimes she'd be with mutual acquaintances. Other times, she'd simply be spotted alone, close enough to see him. But more importantly, close enough for him to see her. Fans began collecting receipts, tweets, videos, grainy photos of Hailey appearing right after Justin's tour stops. They started asking questions. Was she following the tour? How did she always end up in VIP? Was it luck, influence, or something much more intentional? Some even pointed to specific dates, times when Justin had just broken up with Selena Gomez, and suddenly, Hailey was present. Not interfering, not inserting herself directly, but hovering just enough to be noticed, like a shadow in the corner of his spotlight. And then came what many referred to as the hotel incident. A moment caught on camera where Hailey was seen outside a hotel Justin was reportedly staying at. She wasn't part of his crew, she wasn't a guest, she was just waiting. Fans still talk about that footage to this day. Was she hoping to bump into him? Was she stalking him? Or was it just a big misunderstanding? Either way, it painted a clear picture. Hailey wasn't just a girl with a crush anymore. She was operating on a different level. She had access, she had timing, and she had patience. To some, she was simply a determined fan, navigating the industry with charm and family privilege. But to others, it was starting to look like she wasn't waiting for fate to step in. She was carefully crafting her own destiny. Because while millions dreamed of being near Justin, Hailey made sure she actually was. DMing fans for Justin's information.
Thai Fifth Ave. The DM that was right above that she sent to me is gone because she unsent it right away. And if I went back to my MacBook from fucking 2013, maybe I could find that, because above that, and you're gonna have to take my word for this one because I don't have it, but she said, "What hotel is Justin staying at? Kylie and I want to know."
There's something about young love, or the idea of it, that can make people do things they normally wouldn't. And for Hailey Baldwin, back when she was just another teenager with a crush, it seems like that feeling ran deep. While most fans would scream from the crowd, or maybe tag their favorite celebrity on Instagram, Hailey allegedly took a different route, quieter, sneakier, and a little more personal. According to several fan accounts over the years,
If you look up Satai Fifth Ave around February 2013, you will see that he stays there. He stayed there 1,000,001 times. So she said, "What the fuck, random ass hotel?" Cause whatever. But I gave them that info because at the time Hailey and Kylie were staying at the London. Justin had been known to stay at the London, but he was staying at the Satai. She said in this DM, you'll see, "Who the fuck runs Bieber Team New York?" And if you know anything about Stan Twitter, which I'm sure you do, currently it was just like that back then. There was tons of fan accounts, some bigger than others and whatnot. She said, "She's so rude, I can't even handle it." And then that was whatever.
Hailey was known to slide into their DMs. Not to say hello, but to ask questions about Justin. Things like, do you know where he's staying? Or, did anyone see him leave the hotel? It wasn't once or twice. Some fans say it felt like she was genuinely trying to keep tabs on him, like she was piecing together a puzzle, one message at a time. Imagine being a regular fan, posting updates about Justin for fun, and suddenly getting a message from Hailey Baldwin. You'd probably be shocked, maybe even flattered. But then, as she kept asking about his location, who he was with, or when he'd be in town, you'd probably start wondering, why me? Why is she asking these questions if she's already in the same circles as him? It didn't feel like fangirling. It felt calculated. Some people say she was just a love-struck teen who couldn't believe she was this close to her idol. Others argue she was trying to stay 2 steps ahead, positioning herself to always be nearby, just in case she caught his eye. And it worked. Over time, she wasn't just another face in the crowd. She started showing up at the right places at the right times, not by accident, but because maybe, just maybe, she had already mapped it all out. Was it a little obsessive? Maybe. But haven't we all been a little crazy over someone we liked? The difference is, most of us don't have the internet watching our every move. For Hailey, though, those quiet messages tell a bigger story. A girl who didn't just dream from afar, but did everything she could, subtly, quietly, to get close to the guy she couldn't stop thinking about. The Dubai trip. It was late December 2014, and while the world was still obsessing over Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, another name was quietly entering the frame: Hailey Baldwin. Selena had just stepped off the emotional, very public, very messy relationship with Justin, a romance that had captured headlines for years. They were on, they were off, they were maybe trying again, but just before the new year, it looked like Selena had finally had enough. She walked away, and soon after, she boarded a plane to Dubai with Kendall Jenner, Gigi Hadid, and a few close friends, hoping to escape the noise and breathe again. But while Selena was halfway across the world trying to reset, Hailey was right where she needed to be, by Justin's side. It wasn't a coincidence. Fans began noticing Hailey showing up more and more. Group pictures, parties, the casual hangouts that didn't feel so casual anymore. Suddenly, Hailey was everywhere Justin was, and she wasn't just a friend in the background. She was smiling beside him, getting closer, taking up space that once belonged to someone else. And then came the rumors. Had Hailey and Justin hooked up while Selena was in Dubai? Was it a setup? Did Kendall and Kylie Jenner, once Selena's close friends, play a part in all of this? Because during that same Dubai trip, Selena unfollowed them both on Instagram, abruptly, without explanation. And just like that, the narrative began to shift. The timelines lined up a little too neatly, and fans started piecing things together. While Selena posted peaceful photos in the desert, glowing and trying to move on, Hailey was back home sliding into the picture Justin was now painting without her. The dynamic changed fast. Hailey, who had always hovered just outside the spotlight, was now in it. And when Selena came back, she wasn't just dealing with a breakup, she was facing a new reality. Her old friends were gone. The guy she once loved was moving on. And Hailey? She wasn't going anywhere. Whatever happened in that short span of time, it was enough to turn Hailey Baldwin from background character to central figure. Hailey copying Selena. As Hailey Baldwin's name grew louder in the shadow of Justin Bieber's orbit, it wasn't long before the internet began noticing something strange, something that made people do a double take. It wasn't just that she was dating the same man who once publicly adored Selena Gomez. It was the way she seemed to be subtly stepping into her entire aesthetic. At first, it was innocent enough. Hailey dyed her hair a similar shade, wore outfits that fans swore Selena had rocked months earlier, and even began posting photos with captions that echoed Selena's past tweets and interviews. But soon, the internet detectives came out in full force, pulling receipts that went beyond coincidence. Fans dug through archives, finding nearly identical selfies, matching poses, and even tattoos placed in the same spots. Hailey's G tattoo behind her ear matched one of Selena's tributes.
I realized that everybody else seemed to be narrating my life for me.
Yes.
So why don't I put something out that is my side of the story?
I was able to tell my story about who I was from my own mouth, instead of people from the outside being able to tell my story for me.
Home, everything that we're doing is at home. This is my amazing kitchen, which is the set.
Yeah.
Yes, we actually are in my real kitchen, in my real house. This is not a...
She got what she wanted. She got what she wanted after years of being in the background, appearing in group photos, standing off to the side, watching a love story that wasn't hers unfold in front of the world. Hailey Baldwin became Hailey Bieber. She went from fan to follower, from friend to flame, from a girl in the comments to the woman at the altar. And while the internet dissected every move, while the world couldn't stop watching Selena and Justin's tangled, tragic love story, Hailey was patient. She waited. Through the Dubai theories, the copycat claims, the endless comparisons, she never stopped showing up. And when the dust settled, when Jelena was finally just a memory blurred by heartbreak and nostalgia, Hailey was still there. Not as a rebound, not as a maybe, but as the one who stayed, the one who said, I do. And no matter how loud the voices got, no matter how many people called it forced or fake or unfair, Hailey had the one thing no other girl ever did: the title, the legal name, the diamond ring. She didn't need to be liked by everyone because she had him. And in the end, whether you call it fate, strategy, or pure determination, Hailey Baldwin became the last girl standing. And the story? It was no longer about Justin and Selena. It was about Hailey. Always watching, always waiting, and finally winning.